Hi guys. So I was thinking of making a, vlogging earlier today, and then something happened while I was out, and then it actually gave me something even better to talk about. Um, you know, it's nice to be able to encourage other people who are in similar situations. And today, my son and I went to Zellers, which is like a department store for those who aren't Canadian. And we were just in the toy section, of course, where my son likes to go. And there was a mother there, a woman there with her daughter who was around 6, and her son who was 2.5. And, you know, my son, of course, wanted to go up and say hello to them, and he did. And I noticed that her son kind of had the same kind of behaviors as my son, especially when my son was around that age, but even some that he still has today. But I didn't think, oh, he has autism or anything. I just thought, oh, yeah, he acts kind of like my son in some ways. And then I come to find out after the mother noticed these things, and my son wondered if he had autism because her son just got diagnosed. And, there was an immediate kinship. And because, the diagnosis is new, oh, the fear, right? I mean, we never went that route, but I had a slow acceptance. But some people are just like, bang, devastated with the diagnosis suddenly from a doctor. And so this is the case with her. And so it gave me an opportunity to just encourage her. I mean, I don't believe this woman's a Christian. So obviously I can't, well, I could, of course, witness, but I felt more just to give her practical advice apart from the Lord. Of course, I couldn't do this apart from God, but we see people like Temple Grant and her mother. I don't think she was a Christian. I could be mistaken there, but she chose to not accept what the doctor said. And back then, they institutionalized people with autism. And the doctor said, oh, she'll probably never speak. She'll probably never do this and that and not be able to lead a normal life. Just put her in an institution. Put her away. And the mother's like, no. And the mother worked and worked with all the frustration of it, getting her daughter to learn to speak and teaching her manners and social, graces as much as she possibly could, and putting her in school and, fighting for her, fighting on her behalf. And so I, was encouraging this mother, like, when the doctors, the doctors don't know everything, they guess. When they say something like, he can't or he won't, do not believe it, do not settle for it. I said, you are your son's advocate and you can help him succeed. He'll be fine. Just keep believing the best. Don't believe the negative. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. And I told her, even with, the therapies too, like, actually, my latest observation, kind of a side note, because I had shared this with her, is one of the things that the experts will teach is that you should give a child with autism a strict routine, a very strict routine. But what I've come to notice from just interacting with other parents with kids with autism is that these parents have done what the experts told them to do because, they want to do whatever is best for their child, right? They're afraid and they're terrified and they just want their child to do well, so they listen to everything the experts tell them to do, right? So they give their child a strict routine. So something like Christmas comes along or, vacation or whatever, totally upsets the kids' routine. The kids freak out. The parents can't even enjoy Christmas. Like I've noticed that, I've seen that a lot of comments about that. Well, I never gave my son routine per se, like never a strict routine, because we're just not like that. And it has worked wonderfully for him because now he's like a fly by the seat of your pants kind of boy. And he will just do anything, like go for long trips. And it's been very positive that we have not given him a strict routine like the experts tell you to. I think that can be a very big mistake. And that is actually the downfall, in a way, of many of these kids that, well, for their parents, because their parents go through heck, when it comes to vacations and holidays and anything that's an upset in the routine for the child, you're accommodating that routine thing. Children with autism, I believe, can function very well without that routine. I'm not talking chaos, but I'm talking not a strict routine. Teaching them, like, if they're teaching them to break their repetitive habits, then why aren't they teaching them to break that routine cycle, which, I'm sorry, but life throws some things at you and things are not always going to be the same, right? So we have to teach our children to be flexible. I'm sorry, I believe you can teach an autistic child to be flexible at least some of them. Okay, mine's only one, so I don't know what every single one's like, but certainly mine. And he's not the mildest either, but he's mild in some areas and more severe in others. So anyway, so I was telling this woman that, and I was just, point being, the experts don't know everything, and to believe the best. And again, I've said that in other ones of these videos I've done, that to encourage your child and to believe the best. And where we have God, all the more. God gives us wisdom on what to do with our child, how to teach them this, what not to, when to listen to the experts, when they're right, when it'll work for our child, and when just to totally ignore what they're saying because they're wrong. You know, so it feels nice to be able to encourage someone who is just new to this whole autism thing. I wish that I could encourage her more with the Lord, because God has been my strength through this so much. I don't know how I would deal with this without God. My attitude is a lot different about Josiah than other people's, because I'm not afraid for his future in the sense of, oh, is he going to be able to live on his own, hold down a job and all. I'm not even afraid of any of that. I mean, my main concern is that he lives to love Jesus and serve God. That's the most important thing. I'm not worried about this other stuff at all, because I know that God has a plan for my son's life, and that all that other stuff is just nothing. Eternally, it's nothing. I just don't worry about it like a lot of parents do with children with autism. Maybe you do. And if you know Jesus, you know the Lord, ask him to help you to trust him with your child's future, because God has a plan and he will work it out, And yes, your child could be extremely severe. Okay, Carly Fleshman is extremely severe. They're not even Christians. Her voice has gone out, and God, I believe, is still using her, even though she doesn't yet know him. Pray for her. She got her voice out. She was fecal smearing. She was screaming, hitting herself. She's as severe as they come, and they said she was mentally challenged, but she's not. She's a normal, funny teenage girl who's boy crazy, And I know not all of them are going to be like that. Temple Grandin's, she's not interested in guys or whatever, and not as social, but we're all different. But my point is, she is severe, and most people said, oh, there's no future for her. She's going to be able to do nothing but poop herself and just totally whatever. Look what she's doing. She's an advocate. She's proving the experts wrong in so many areas, which of course I'm thrilled with. And she's just encouraging. She's so encouraging. And I hope that she encourages you guys, because just think, you have the Lord. You have everything you need. God can bring your child's giftings out. God can bring the voice out. God has given everybody gifts. Everyone. Yes, the most severely autistic child has gifts. You have to pray that God will bring them out. They have gifts. Okay? And anyway, so I just encourage you to encourage others in their walk, and to share the good, because that's what they need to hear, is the good. And we got to trust God and go with what he says, because that's the truth. God's word is truth. Like I read this morning that he exalts his word above his name. So we can count on it to be reliable all the time. So anyways, I'm sorry it's been a while. Just busy getting Christmas stuff, done. So that it's a busy time of year. So it might not be again. Goodness knows when I'll get on here again. But anyway, if I don't get on before Christmas, Merry Christmas. And I pray that it'll be a good time of peace for your children and for you. That these children would adjust and learn. God would put the peace upon them. The ones that are particularly, stuck to the routine. And, but I do pray for peace upon all of you. Because, Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and it's his birthday. It's not technically his birthday, but it's when we celebrate his birthday and remember him in that way, as a coming to the earth as a baby. So anyways, God bless you all.